What's going on, everybody? It's your boy BrianDaddy coming at you with another video. Today we've got Mythic Neltharus Guide. Some quick tips to give you guys some help out there when you're running this dungeon. So, we're actually heading towards Chargath. I believe you can do multiple different directions at the beginning of this dungeon. When you come up to the Tamed Phoenixes, you're going to want to make sure you interrupt Ember Reach. It'll deal damage to a random party member, and it'll do a lot and can kill somebody quite easily. When you run into these Quellashi Hunters, they're going to cast Bolt Ambush on a random party member. It gives them a bleed. And they also cast Binding Spear, which places a swirl on the ground, and if you stand in it, when it lands, you will be stunned, and you will need your spear killed to be released. So, make sure you don't get hit by that spear. Another ability is Magma Tusk from the Quellashi trainees. It's particularly deadly frontal ability, which can be clearly telegraphed as a cone in front of them, so basically just don't stand in front of them. Tank is going to be making sure he's facing them away. Classes with a Soothe can also dispel the 50% haste increase that they get called Fire Up. The Quellashi Bone Tenders are archer mobs and remain stationary and can cast Bone Toss on random party members, dealing a decent amount of damage. And here we go. Now we have Overseer Lahar. He is the last mini-boss that you see before heading to Chargath. His three main mechanics are Burning War, which can be interrupted, but will deal damage and knock anyone back in the circle if it finishes. Imbue Magma, which deals heavy damage to the tank and leaves a dot that must be dispelled by your healer. And Eruptive Crush, which stuns your ground on your tank and explodes into swirls on the floor that must be dodged. Alright. And now you make your way to Chargath, the Bane of Scales, after killing this mini-boss. His abilities are Grounding Spear. Main mechanic of this fight, he'll target 3 players and chain them to the floor, causing them to be slowed by 40% and a puddle of lava to form. Players need to step away from the spear that is chaining them and create a tripwire for the tank to kite the boss through it. Once the boss trips 3 times, he will be stunned and take increased damage. I did not know this, so I was kind of freaking out when I did end up getting speared here, but that's fine. Fiery Focus causes the boss to fixate on the tank and swing wildly, causing lava spools to spawn. There you go, here it comes. Boom, boom, boom. He swings wildly, starts hitting it everywhere. Basically, you just want to make sure as the tank, you got him in a corner and you kind of don't go too crazy with it. Healers, Dragon Strike deals damage to a random party member and puts a bleed on them. Make sure you pay attention and heal that person. And Fiery Focus causes a lot of AoE damage, as you saw there, so as a healer, make sure you get everybody topped off as quick as possible. And after you kill him, we decided to head towards Forge Master. Again, you can choose pretty much the bosses that you want to head towards. These Iron Torch Commanders, they cast Scorching Fusillade, which requires the group to spread out and not cleave each other with their circles, as well as a Conflagrant Battery, which spawns swirls on the floor, which must be dodged. Other abilities that you run through on this trash is Quellashi Lava Bears. They cast Throw Lava. Make sure you dodge it. The Melt Cast from the Lava Flare should be kicked, or it will deal damage to a random player. Mote of Combustion is kickable from the Quellashi Iron Torch. Quellashi Bone Spitters are extremely difficult mobs with multiple casts. One of them is a Pierce Marrow, which charges a target and deals a decent amount of damage. The other is Dragonbone Axe, which leaves behind a massive bleed on a random party member. Let's jump into what Forge Master Gorick does. He has Might of the Forge, which he's casting now. It causes the boss to return to his anvil. And when he hammers, it does deal group-wide damage. When he finishes casting, he will throw Blazing Aegis at a random player, causing a large amount of orange swirls to spawn from their location, which must be dodged. Heated Swings is a tank combo of this fight. It will knock you back, and he will leap on you, dealing a lot of damage. You should try to mitigate this in some capacity with a cooldown. Blazing Hammer is the main healer mechanic in this fight, which occurs every time he strikes his anvil. So healers top everybody off. As you can see, it's dealing pretty heavy damage there. There's also a profession item in this area after the boss is defeated for players with blacksmithing at the anvil. When you pick it up, you will be granted an extra action button in the form of Blazing Aegis. This functions the same as it does with the boss, allowing you to throw it at your target and create a big amount of swirls and deal damage. So if you have a blacksmith with you, it's really beneficial to, maybe if you're doing like high mythic plus keys or something of that nature. grab that and do a nice big pull and have someone with blacksmithing throw that shield down and wreck everybody. I could see that definitely being a thing. Yeah, and now as we head towards the Magma Tusk, there's some trash that kind of has the same things you guys have been seeing. There's a few different things, but Magma Tusk, he's got some abilities. Magma Tentacle. It's the main mechanic of the fight. The longer it goes on, the more tentacles the boss will spawn. Each time he reaches 100 energy. Okay? So, Magma Lob spawns a swirl on the ground and leaves behind a puddle of lava. If you hold the boss in the lava, he will deal 50% additional damage. So don't make him stand in the lava. Lava Spray. Targets a random player in the party and does a wide cone on them. Blazing Charge. This will occasionally happen, causing the boss to charge towards a wall in the room. He also spawns lava waves for every tentacle when he reaches his destination. So right now, you can see I think he has, what, 2 tentacles? He's going to charge, and it's going to spawn 2 waves. There you go. Tanks, just pay attention to your positioning and make sure that you keep them out of lava and that you're kind of staying close to the walls. Healers, Magma Eruption is the main thing. Get everyone topped off and do your best. Alrighty. Now as we head towards Warlord Sargha, you should watch out for these birds from these Apex Blaze Wings. They've got Scalding Chomp, which does a lot of damage to the tank, but they also have the Candescent Tempest, which is the one that he's going to cast, and it's going to do 3 AoE knockbacks. And you're going to want to position yourself so you don't get knocked off and so that you're still able to deal damage there, as you can see. The Lavamancers will spam cast Lava Bolt at your tank if it's not interrupted. Also, they have Molten Barrier, which prevents all kicks when it's active. When destroyed, it will deal damage to your whole party. Additionally, they will be channeling Molten Army during this shield, which will spawn more lavas. Alright, now you're on to Warlord Sargha. He's got abilities. Magma Shield, main mechanic of this fight. Every so often, he's going to shield himself, and players must break the shield by digging through piles of gold around the room and collecting different items. We didn't know that in this poll, and we almost died to it, but hey. They do deal a lot of damage to that shield, and they will help you break it a lot faster, so make sure you go find items in the gold to do that. Burning Ember causes Raging Ember to spawn, leaving a large pool of puddle on the ground. These embers will fixate at a random player, as you can see here. And you kill it, get it done quick. They can be CC'd as well if you don't want to focus DPS on them and you don't want to do all that. So yeah, here you go. He's casting the shield. You got to run around and find stuff to throw at him, which we didn't do, as you can see. But that's fine. Healers, make sure you heal a lot during this, because as you can see, there's a lot of raid-wide damage. And Molten Gold is a dot that is applied randomly to a party member, dealing heavy damage. So make sure you heal that person up. And yeah, that's all the tips and tricks I have for this dungeon. I want to thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys in the next one. Peace!
Shockwave.